Where were you with your health and fitness before you actually joined and started the program?
I would say, as far as lifting goes, I was kind of in that like intermediate to advanced stage, but I was still looking for, again, I think I mentioned this to you at the beginning of the program, like just structure and intention is really what I was looking for there. I was just doing workouts to do them. I had the experience with the lifting, but it
Yeah.
was the structured program and diet plan that's the part I was missing. So at the beginning of this, it was like I had the comfortability to get in the gym, but I wasn't doing things with intention. So that's where I was at the start. As far as meal plans go, I was generally just eating healthy, but again, there was no structure or intention behind it. Gorging here and there, potentially. The program really allowed me to see like the amount of everything matters.
Yeah.
So for this, I was not aware of all of the kind of the amounts that I should kind of adhere by. I was at prior to the program.
When you say amounts, do you mean in terms of like calories and like macros, or just like the amounts of like the portions and all that?
Yeah, I would say both. I had an understanding of macros and calories and, but I never was tracking it myself and, religiously wasn't
Yeah.
tracking. And then from there, the portion amounts too, just understanding like, hey, like this 5 ounces of chicken and let's start at this amount of rice and then decrease, each week. That
Right.
stuff was all new to me.
I just made a video. I haven't posted it yet, but I talked about how like eating healthy doesn't necessarily equal fat loss or weight loss. It's
Yeah.
about how you eat, not always so much about what you eat, right? So yeah, I think that's awesome that you were able to kind of learn the ropes there when it came to the quantity, right? Obviously, quality has to be there in the food.
Hmm.
But I think it's just as important to remember quantity is just as important. Awesome, man. So you definitely weren't a beginner, right? You're intermediate to advanced. You had a general idea about nutrition. Like you said, it was the structure, it was the guidance, it was having a plan to actually stick to and follow. That's what changed the game for you.
100%. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. So, number two, I guess, again, you weren't a beginner. So, in that sense, why did you seek for help at that point?
Yeah, again, it was really just the structure and intention and having like professional support kind of assist me with that. I
Yeah.
think I'm so busy in my day to day, and I know a bunch of other people are too. Like, it's really nice to just have things ready for you, prepared. So the workout program, the meal plan, like I didn't have to do any of that thinking by myself, and it was just ready there for me.
Just like,
And
tell me what to do and I'll do it.
I'll do it. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I know I have the discipline. Like I know I can follow. I have the general knowledge to understand things,
Yeah.
but just having it there ready is takes a huge amount of time off of my plate and allows me to use my time, my job, and my family and other things. So it
Totally.
keeps my health, family, and personal life all in a nice balance.
Nice. That's awesome. If you were to talk to someone about, hey, what was it like working with Nate? What would you say to them?
I would say very professional. I'd say probably one of the top things. It was super, everything was laid out, super organized. The workout programs, especially like every 4 weeks, they were changing up and there was intention as to why that was happening. The meal plan was very clear, like get the PDF right through the app, just everything being super organized. And then just personally, like it was always a pleasure. It was always a positive conversation. It felt like you were motivating me, but it also just felt like you were a friend there also along with me with the journey. So, yeah, had both like coaching plus friend aspects in the relationship.
If you could pick one thing, what did you absolutely love about the program?
I would say it would be the meal plan because like I've done programs before, like workout programs. I've tried to build them for myself. I've, looked at other programs myself as well. And they've always been great, but I'd say the key here that I was missing was pairing the program with a meal plan. And this meal plan just felt super flexible to me. I know like at the start we had just like one dinner option, one lunch, one breakfast. And then as we went, like you created a couple other options for me because, just me, I'm someone who likes to vary things slightly here and there. That was really nice. And then just then being able to have those options and then kind of like experiment amongst those options that I have.
Right.
Hey, here's some low calorie sauces. Maybe try different flavors on them or different seasonings. And ultimately, that structured meal plan was probably my favorite thing because I really enjoyed all of the food I was eating and I knew it was like giving me the results that I needed. So,
Yeah, yeah. The nutrition is everything, and obviously within a 4 month program, pay a lot of money for this, right? So it's like there's an investment, there's an urgency. You want to make sure you're getting your money's worth, and that by the end of the program, you have amazing results, right? That's the key there. So with that said, the nutrition, tends to be a little bit more strict than me just giving some advice to someone, who's on this lifelong journey of,
Right.
getting in shape. Even for you, now that you're just in absolute amazing shape, the goal is to maintain it and then possibly continue to build muscle from there. Whatever your goals are, you can kind of take a step back a little bit and not be as strict, having to follow the exact meal plan, but you can now have some more variety than you did within the program. And that's going to help you to enjoy, the foods, stay on track, and then continue just to progress. What success have you had from the gym? I know we obviously went over the 23 pounds of weight loss. What other successes would you share that you've had from the program?
So I forgot if it was part of your like onboarding to like write down notes for yourself.
Yeah.
I did that. I would say like it's funny to look at these back now because the first note I have here is I want to shed off some fat while defining my muscle. I would say I've completed that and that's successful. So like that was my goal really, was just to shed the fat, and also I feel like we kept on the muscle and it's more defined now. I also wrote down that I want to feel physically healthy to manage my anxiety by getting on a good routine. I'm someone who, like, if I'm not on a consistent kind of exercising or gym schedule, it can start to mess with kind of like my physical anxiety that I feel. The stress has just really helped, and I haven't had any of those symptoms throughout this whole program. So it really showed me that like those things you're feeling, it's really just because I'm on a good routine, sleep, I need better food, and I need better exercise. So now that I have that knowledge and I feel so much better, both mentally and physically, I think this is the way to go for the rest of my life now,
Yeah. Just sticking to your routine, man.
So I'd say those two are like the successes, and then there was like the in the gym successes with like lifting more, of course.
Yeah.
So that's always great too. But I think those
Yeah.
are my top two, is like shedding the fat, getting the aesthetic, but ultimately at the top was just mentally and physically I'm feeling so much better.
Yeah, that's huge, man. It's a lot of things that people don't talk about, the mental game, right? It's so much more mental than it is physical. And when you can get that mental side of things on the right track, your body follows, and that's why you were able to achieve so much success, I think, is because you had a good mindset going into this. I'm sure there was some ups and downs, some tough days. I think you do a lot of traveling, right, for work and other things. And the fact that despite you messing with your routine and your schedule, you were still able to prioritize, plan, and that's what's key, man. And that's why you've achieved so much, such great results. Obviously, I gave you the tools, but you still had to put in the work and stay consistent and disciplined. So definitely deserve some credit there as well. But yeah, I just pulled up your notes here, and I had here, where would you like to be in the next 3 to 6 months? And you had sustainability, right? And excess body fat and stomach, and then maintain muscle. And again, you weren't completely out of shape before joining, right? But this is like what I like to call your peak physique,
Yeah.
And you said I needed an exact diet to follow. Gave you just that. Health was number one, and really just you felt like the main thing you need help with is structure. And I have in there traveling, so having structure even while traveling too was super key in the program. So yeah, dude, hats off to you. You did amazing. I have one last question for you, Mitch, and that's if someone was on the fence about joining the program, what would you say to them?
I would tell them to do it. It was the best investment I made for myself this year. I feel that when investing in your health, there's really not really like a price that you can put on it. I think for me, it's like now I have the tools to, one, like I told you, manage my stress and anxiety with this new routine, continue down like a health and fitness journey with the knowledge that I've gained, and yeah, just continue the healthy eating, etc. So it's just overall, it wasn't something I was investing in just for these 4 months. It was something that I was investing in for my lifetime now. And yeah, if you're on the fence for any type of reason that's similar to what I just mentioned, like I would say just do it and be disciplined, and you'll thank yourself later.
Mitch is thanking himself for the decision he made
Yes.
4 months ago.
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing all that information. Super proud of you, man. And I know that this is really just kind of the start of something new.
This is the best in shape I've ever been, the most I've ever seen my abs defined. So
Let's go, man. Dude, congrats on losing 23 pounds so far. We're actually in the midst of the last week here, so I'm excited to see your progress photos on Friday.